Butterflies interest me so much because they're so ephemeral. They don't last very long, and they'll just flit in and flit out.
Jo Hammond loves butterflies.
I love the fact that the butterflies are all different colours, and you never know in the morning when you get up and you take the camera out the front what you're going to find.
A horticulturist and a photographer, Jo's devoted a large part of her suburban block in Brisbane to attracting these beautiful insects using some very special plants. Everything in this garden is about butterflies, isn't it, Jo?
Oh, yes, it's all... My whole front garden, its whole intention is to attract as many butterflies as possible. This milkweed is actually a host plant for the monarch butterfly. The butterfly will come in and it will lay one egg underneath, just like that, and then it'll go off and it'll come round and it'll lay one here. And then on the same day, they'll all hatch at the same time.
How many species of butterfly would you say you've got in your garden?
Oh, I'd say at any one time there's about 20 or 30.
Jo has two different kinds of plants to attract and retain butterflies. There's food plants for the caterpillars, like this native passion fruit vine, and nectar plants, which butterflies and the occasional caterpillar enjoy, like this pentas. What excites you about butterflies? I mean, what made you a butterfly gardener?
As a gardener, you always want to grow something different, a little bit exotic, something interesting. And I don't grow many flowers to cut, so this is a way to have beautiful things in the garden.
Some people would be concerned seeing a lemon looking a little bit tatty like this.
Well, this is actually my sacrificial lemon. It's for all the bugs to enjoy, but most importantly for the caterpillars to eat off so the butterflies can lay their eggs.
Jo's back garden is largely devoted to food growing, but she's managed to squeeze in a few butterfly plants. You've got so many different butterfly-attracting plants just in this little corner. If anybody had a really small space, this could be how they start butterfly gardening.
Absolutely. I've just overplanted everything. I've got a blunt leaf senna there for the little yellow butterflies, so that's the native one. This here is a karamat, and that attracts 5 different butterflies, just that single plant.
This has got to be one of my favourite summer annuals. I call it gomphrena, and it grows beautifully all the way down the east coast of Australia.
Yeah, this globe amaranth is very, very pretty, and most butterfly host plants have got tiny, tiny flowers. So this one has big flowers and they're bright colours, and it attracts all the butterflies because it's a nectar plant. It's the shady part.
This is the dark southern side of the house where Jo plants experimentally.
What I decided to do was to get a dozen of butterfly host plants and just plant them in there. So what I have got here is a native mulberry. And if you see here, this is where a Jezebel nymph has laid a clutch of eggs. And when these hatch, these tiny, tiny little caterpillars come out, and they start on the edge here, and they will eat their way in. And then when they finish with that leaf and there's just a stem left, they move on to the next one and they do exactly the same thing. And they just mow the leaf right into the stem. And then they'll move off all together, one after the other, onto the next leaf and do the same again until they shed their first set of skin. And then after they've shedded 5 times and they're as big as they're going to get, most caterpillars will go underneath something or go on a stem, and then they will turn into a chrysalis.
So what advice would you give a budding butterfly gardener?
I would say stop spraying your plants. Stop using chemicals, and when I say chemicals, I mean also things like neem. Anything that kills the bugs will also kill the caterpillars.
Visiting Jo's garden today has reminded me that one person's pest can be another person's passion. And in Jo's case, her love of caterpillars and butterflies has become a full-time occupation. What's your favourite thing about butterfly gardening?
Actually just sitting watching them. The best thing is just watching them flutter around from plant to plant. It's just really lovely.
Well, that's it for this week, but we'll be back next week with some wonderful transformation stories to share with you.
Sophie will be planting out what will become the new driveway to her house to ensure visitors get a warm welcome.
I'm planning a new driveway which will come in from a different direction, and it's going to let you appreciate the beauty of the house as you arrive.
Jane will be finding out how people power has made the daily commute to work a much more pleasurable experience. And John will be looking round a stunning coastal garden that really ties in with its surroundings.
Well, my first response upon entering this garden is that there's a tremendous sense of fit between it and its location.
I hope you can join us then. And this week, have a look out for the local wildlife that comes to your garden. See ya.
Hi, Josh Byrne here. If you've missed an episode of Gardening Australia, you can catch it on ABC iView or go to our website. How good's that?